coming today. My name is Natalie Sauer. I am the Director of Administration for the Special Olympics Canada 2026 Summer Games. You are going to hear those words over and over and over in the next 4 years. We're going to ensure you will, just for all the excitement that's going to be gathered around this national event that is going to be coming to Medicine Hat. So that will be the first of many times. We've chosen Big Marble Go Centre because this will be one of the big hubs for the Special Olympics. Our office will be here, and certainly a lot of events around this area of the community, as well as other beautiful facilities that we have in town. So we'll be ready to show this building off and many others during that time frame. I know that this announcement will hopefully be one of many that are forthcoming of partnerships and things that we'll be doing with the community, and so you can look forward to a lot of those. So let's just get started. With us is, normally we would have Ted Rodich here, who's the chair of the Medicine Hat Games Society, and he's unable to help be with us today. But you know what? Our vice chair is here playing dual roles today, and I'm inviting Dr. Ted Sauer to come up and speak on behalf of the Games Society.
Thank you very much for being with us. Ted says his regrets. But I would just basically like to just say how the organization of the Games is going to be. The city of Medicine Hat is awarded the Special Olympics Games. And then they turn over to the Medicine Hat Alberta Games Society because we are incorporated. And then, of course, like a city council, the Games Society acts as a city council per se, and looking after raising the money and things like that. And then they turn over the actual planning to the group called the Governance Operations Committee, and Brian Weigel will talk about that, and he's the chair selected for that particular role. There'll be a lot of people from the Games Society who are also part of the Games Operations Committee, or the Governance Operations Committee. And what happened here, I want to just let you know that this is as the vice chair of the Games Society, the fact is a $2.5 million budget that we're working under. And the Special Olympics Canada are giving us $650,000. And the province of Alberta has what they call an Other Initiatives project, and they're going to give us $500,000. And the city is going to give us $300,000 and cover any deficits that might happen. But I want to tell you, as someone who has worked with Games over the last 30 years, we have never had a deficit, so please hold me to this along, and so our committee will be working on that. Now, what happens, the Alberta Gaming has also allowed us to have provincial casinos in Calgary, which turned to be quite successful, and some of the people in this room work on a casino team when they go up there. What happens in the province, if someone can't do a casino on a certain date because of volunteers, they phone us or email us and ask, can you take that date? And we do. And then what happens, of course, we have other special things which I'll talk about later on. But the fact is that we need to raise about $400,000. And what we'll be announcing later on is how this might be helped along the way. So that's the organization. And the actual planning of what goes on during those August 9th to the 16th depends entirely upon Brian Varga as chair and his committee to make sure that when they come here, they're going to really enjoy every moment that they're here and go home and say, that damn Medicine Hat is a fine place to visit. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks to the Chamber, Barry, Mike, who is a big part of this operation that's happening here today and what's moving forward with. Just a little note, we'd be days away from what we were supposed to host in 2022, which was the games that we're now getting in 2026. So we were supposed to host it in 22, but unfortunately COVID bit us right in the butt, and it got canceled. And like I said, we'd be just days away from having this great event happening within our community. So the big thing for me, I'm honored and I'm privileged again to be the chair of this Special Olympics. And it is a big deal. I think this is a big positive for our city as we move forward. We've got 4 years to plan for it, which is a long time. It seems like a long time, but really with the committee, it's going to be a short time. Things are going to pass by very fast. We had the success of hosting the 2017 Special Olympics, the Alberta Special Olympics here in Medicine Hat, and it was a great success. Other than the fact that it was over 40 degrees here during that time, and we had a little bit of trouble with our athletes and things happening and the heat wave that went through here at that time. But it's funny how the athletes succeed in doing what they're best at doing, and we ended up having a successful games in the end of it, even though we had all the controversy and a few hiccups that had to go through with running the games at that time. I think even some of the board directors were suffering at that time, even though it was a 3 and 4 day event. It was pretty tough at that time, especially with our 40 degrees. And we're hoping, and I know I said it last time and I'm not saying it this time, that it's going to be a nice, beautiful week of medium weather, that Medicine Hat's going to be the norm, where nothing more than 30 degrees, 25 sunny and no wind would be the far cry of what we would love to have in the summertime in August when we have it, or July when we have it. I mean, we don't want that to happen again, but hopefully when it does come around in 2026, we're enjoying the good weather, and you can go on from there. But a few other footnotes. There's going to be 1,400 athletes that come to Medicine Hat from all over the country, which is huge compared to provincial games. And so we've got from the far east all the way to the far west and to the north and to the south. And we're looking forward to having those 1,400 athletes come and compete at some of our facilities in Medicine Hat. Along with that comes lots of family and friends. Special Olympians have lots of people that follow them. They have lots of people that come and support them. And of course, their teams are very important to them, so it's a great time. We're lucky, we have 10 sports this time. They tried to give us the winter games. Medicine Hat's too iffy on winter games because we don't know whether we're going to get snow or not, right? I think we hosted one winter games here and we didn't have any snow, and the poor athletes had to run instead of ski when we had no snow that year. So we kind of kiboshed that with Special Olympics Canada and said that we want the summer games because we know we're going to have good weather, we know we're going to have hot weather, and we've got the facilities to do it in the summertime. So the 10 different sports are athletics, which is right across, well, it might be, some of it will be there at our great facility. Basketball, baseball, bowling, golf, powerlifting, which we're told is probably one of the major events because people love watching that and seeing the people that are doing it and how well they perform. So it's one of the bigger attractions. So we're looking forward to that. Rhythm and gymnastics, soccer, softball, and swimming, of course, to name the 10 sports that are here. In the Winter Games, there's only 8 sports. So we get a bonus of 2 by hosting the Summer Games. So we're excited about that. Like I said, with our great venues, the Special Olympics Canada is very happy with what we have to offer here in Medicine Hat. I think the biggest thing for them is that it's a small community and you can get to the other side of town in Glen, 7 minutes? 7 minutes if you hit all the green lights, so it's perfect, right? 7 minutes from anywhere in town, 10 minutes at the most. If you hit a few red lights, it might take you 15, where you haven't even gone from anywhere in Calgary at that point, right? So the biggest thing that we host is our volunteers are the most important people within our community. I mean, and we've had great success with everything that we've hosted, whether it's summer games, winter games, special competitions, hockey, baseball, and every sport that we have in town here. It seems that we get the volunteers to do that. I know it's a tough time right now with COVID and the way it's working out, and we're always looking for volunteers, but I think when the time comes around, it's something that you will never forget if you volunteer for the Special Olympics. The athletes meet the games, and it's a very special time. Lots to learn from them. The economic impact, as a councillor, I would say this is the most important part, right? When I was a councillor, because of the economic impact at this time, it shows us $9 million that this city's gonna have during that 1-week period where businesses are going to thrive, other things everything in our city is going to survive and do great things, because we do have that $9 million coming into our economy. So what more can you do? A positive note on that is that we're sure looking for some of that to move forward. And too bad it's 4 years away, but we'll work hard to maybe do some things during the way so that we can make it a bigger impact for when the time comes in 2026. Of course, we're always looking for community support. We always are looking for volunteers. We always need people to help out with everything that we do. And the more volunteers we have, the better the process is of hosting a great games. Like Ken said, when we host the games, we always want the people to go away with a happy note and say, man, I got to come back to Medicine Hat. We do have a great community, and we look forward to August 9th to 16th in 2026. So thanks for your time. Chamber, thank you for putting on this event and for doing this for the businesses within our community. As Ken said, we need some money, of course, to run any kind of games, and I know it's a lot of money, but I think we can get there. And we're looking forward to moving forward with our plan to make that money happen within the next 4 years. So thank you.
Winning is inseparable from sport. But what if being a winner meant something completely different? This podium embodies the true spirit of sport. Because for us, sport is about more than rewarding a single individual. It's about creating an inclusive community where we elevate each other. Our 41,000 athletes with intellectual disabilities need you on their team. Because winning isn't just about medals or podium finishes. Winning is about pride, self-confidence, belonging, and friendship. Everybody wins at Special Olympics.
That's just a little bit to show you. We're so excited to be able to welcome these athletes to our community again. Again, we had provincials last time, but just to think that they're coming from all over Canada to join us is so to the heart for all of us, and I'm sure all of you as well. So let's get to business as to why we're here today. When the Friends of the Games Committee looks to move forward, and they've got this job to do, as Ken was saying, that we have to raise these funds collectively in our community, the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is we've got a tremendous business community in Medicine Hat. And how can we work together with them to make it an easy process, an ability that we can grow from year to year, and so how could we do that? And when I think, so right away, of course, we think the Chamber of Commerce, and just reaching out to Lisa and the team to say, how can we work? And we know that your mission is to help businesses grow for the betterment of our families and communities here. And this is why we have such a vibrant community for all those vital businesses that are here in our community. So we thank for that. So with us today is the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Scott Laird, and I'll let him say a few words.
Thanks, Natalie. And thank you to the Special Olympics Committee for inviting us to be part of this today, and we're working with you guys to help pull off a great games. Our chamber recognizes the importance of breaking down barriers and building workplaces and communities that are inclusive. As such, we are pleased to support our community in this goal to host the event and support the mission of Special Olympics Alberta to enrich the lives of Albertans with intellectual disabilities and allowing communities to band together to change attitudes and support athletes. We also recognize the difficulty businesses have had over the past couple of years, which have impacted many businesses financially. Recognizing the generous contributions of our business community and in recognition of the fact that businesses may wish to contribute in various ways, whether big or small, the Chamber has stepped up to the plate to enable our members to make contributions with their annual memberships leading up to the Games, or to create an installment plan that works for their business, while still giving back to the Games through a corporate friends style contribution. Chamber members can now become corporate friends of the Games and receive distinct recognitions for their contribution. By making a donation to the Games along with a regular membership fee over the next 4 to 5 years for as little as the price of a cup of coffee each month. With our annual membership renewals sent in the summertime each year to prepare for our new fiscal year each September, timing worked out well to align options for our members leading up to our new fiscal year. Members can connect with any one of our team, find out more information about how they can contribute through an installment plan. We take pride in the generosity of our business community who regularly contribute their time and resources to ensure the success of large festivals, events, and tournaments. As a community, we recognize and appreciate the economic impact of these types of events have on our community, and this recognition is reflected in the region's generosity, willingness to volunteer, and consistently demonstrated through our community spirit. In addition to our community's generosity in both time and monetary contributions, we are also a community committed to supporting an active population, with investment evidenced in our first-class recreation and sports facilities like this one, which are perfectly suited for this type of event. The Special Olympics movement is more than just a celebration of sport. It's a celebration of spirit. We know the greatest winners are not found on top of the podiums, but in the lasting effect that is left in the hearts and minds of the athletes, families, and communities. We look forward to having our community host the over 1,400 participants, bringing together Special Olympic athletes, their families, and our community of Medicine Hat, and contributing to both the economic and social impact for that these events offer to our community. Chris Hellman was unable to make it today, so he sent some words for me to read for him. So this is Chris speaking, Mr. Loop. I was thrilled to learn that Medicine Hat was selected the host of the 2026 Olympic Canada Summer Games. It will have a lasting impact on our community, but more importantly, it will have a even greater lasting impression on the athletes, coaches, and families from across the country that will converge on our city to compete, experience our hospitality, and most importantly, enjoy the pride and experience that comes with competing in these games. I had the absolute privilege of presenting medals at the Special Olympics Alberta Provincial Summer Games in 2017. I couldn't have been more touched by the passion and drive of the competitors. As I leaned in to shake hands during the presentations, many responded with a hug instead, each time spreading their pure joy of accomplishment to me, and I'm sure far beyond. I want to express sincere thanks and credit to the people and organizations that have once again brought a significant event to our city. I know these kinds of events don't just happen on their own. It takes significant dedication and effort from volunteers to come to fruition. So for that, I am certain our community is grateful and proud. I know I am. And with this successful attraction of such a large event to our city comes some economic gains that many of our local business community who will likely be counted on to add support to the hosting of these games. So I'd like to kick off that support from the business community with a contribution of $1,000 and a commitment to contribute each year up until the games commence. And challenge all regional businesses to consider contributing as well, be it large or small. It all helps make an event like this successful. Again, thank you to the organizers for bringing this to our city. Thank you to Special Olympics Canada for selecting our community to host this most important event. Thank you to the athletes and teams for coming to compete in Medicine Hat in 2026. Wishing you all the most enjoyable and successful games. That was from behalf of Chris.
Excellent.
Chris did send up an employee though, Kyle Johnson, who's here and will present his donation to Mr. Kensau.
Right here. What a pleasure, by the way. Let's kick off here, by the way. Oh, stick around. Thank you very much, Chris. And you sit up. We appreciate that. Just to help you. Thank you so much, Scott and Brian, for your comments along the way. But you see, this is the beginning, the building the foundation for what's going to happen over the next 5 years. Now, Chris and And Mr. Liu has said, set the stage is the way to say it. And we're building a sponsorship brochure. And in the sponsorship brochure, we're suggesting in there that the business and corporate community, which Scott and the Chamber represent, that they might just say $100 a year, over 5 years is $500. And the second level is $200 a year for 5 years is $1,000. And so what happens here is Chris has stepped into level number 2. Then there's number 3, which is $300 a year for 5 years, and 4 and 5. And so you want to make some assumptions that people have to look deep into their heart for what they might do in support of this particular event. We're talking about inclusivity, we're talking about caring and kindness, by the way, and we know that the business community has always been, they step up. If there's another softball tournament or a pickleball tournament, they're there to help in some way to make a donation toward it. We want this to be a community event, not the Game Society, not the governments, and not the Chamber, but all of us together. I would like to have every man, woman, and child either be a donor, a sponsor, or a volunteer. Now, in comparison to the Chamber, who have graciously stepped forward and signed an agreement with us to be our partner, we went to the school districts, and the school districts in the region, Prairie Rose, Catholic Board Public School, and Cape, they all agreed to have a Toonie Day in the first week of May. There are 11,000 little people, adults, teenagers too, in the school district. And if everybody had a Toonie, that'd be $22,000 times 5 years is $100,000. That's a significant kind of contribution. Excuse me. But our schools teach kindness and caring and emphasize that. And so with the Chamber and their big heart and their cooperation with us and having the little people helping us along the way, we hope other people as well will say, I can make a commitment to, I can pledge $100 instead of having 2 suppers out or going to Calgary for a theater operation. I'll just make a donation. So the biggest thing here, though, is me to compliment the cooperation and the cooperation that the Chamber has given to us to sit down as a partnership, to set up this agreement, to make it easy, if I can say it that way, for a businessman or a businesswoman or other corporate to say, well, when I pay my membership, I'll just include that. And as the money will go through into the Chamber and then passed over to us. Again, the efficiency of that particular thing makes this good for us because we're all volunteers. And that'll help significantly. So Scott, to Lisa, and all the people in the office there, my compliments. By the way, this Chamber of Commerce, this is just a special little thing for me. This Chamber of Commerce in Medicine Hat is one of the most vibrant groups in Canada, and the awards have been proof of that too, right? And so this just again to show the leadership that the Medicine Hat Chamber of Commerce has toward the community and its benefits. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brochure will come out as we'll get a digital copy to Lisa and to the Chamber office, and she'll distribute it out so that people have that to look at. And I just must add one other thing. I have to use a little sidelight. You know, for all of those who watched James Bond, some of you are too young to remember him, but in the office, the secretary or executive assistant to N15, whatever his name was this is Money Kenny. Well, here, ladies and gentlemen, is Money Kenny. Money Kenny will be on your doorstep for other opportunities for sponsorships. It could very well be that someone will say, well, we'd like to do the attire for the volunteers. If there are 1,400 athletes, we have 1,400 volunteers. So we'll give them t-shirts and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing that there will be a little insert into the sponsorship brochure for your members to look at and say, besides this over here, which is a really excellent idea, maybe we can do that and this. It's the kind of thing that we look for people to say, we can help make this event a tremendous event in Medicine Hat and region. We can make this a good event for Alberta to say to the rest of Canada that Medicine Hat is not a forgotten corner. It is a vibrant and resilient community. We know that the economy has been fragile over the last number of years. But we know that the city of Medicine Hat business people and the residents themselves are prepared to stand up and be counted. And that's what we're looking for. Our community event where every man, woman, and child in some way helps make this event to remember. Thank you again very much, Chamber of Commerce, for signing the agreement with us, this partnership agreement. We look forward to this being one of the best investments in terms that a businessman can do. And as Brian said, the economic impact, over $9 million, we think it's going to be a spark. We want people to be positive about the whole situation because you need something. At the present moment, there is a little underground of anger and a little bit of maybe misinformation being passed back and forth. So people get a little sad. But we want this to be the positive spark that says, come on now, let's do this and get over our kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to use a word in there type of a thing. Just the kind of the sad feeling that we have about COVID and all the regulations and stuff like that. So let's make this a positive one. And Mr. Money Kenny and his team of warriors with working closely with the Chamber of Commerce and with the business community and with the rest of the city and region. Because we all are going to do this together, and we know that we'll be successful because you and they are involved. Thank you very, very much for being with us, and please pass the message on. And the media, by the way, you have to remember your role is so important. The media can tell the positive parts about the community, and this is one of the stories that they can carry through every year, every month almost, some little significant point to say that this organization is putting on a fundraiser. The Mavericks are giving us a 50-50 night. The Tigers are going to give us a 50% night, 50-50. But those kind of things, we want people, organizations, and associations. So the role of the media can be a very positive influence upon the heart and the soul of people who care for those intellectually development and who may not have the opportunities because they are the athletes and sports is their focus. They commit themselves. I bet of all the people hurt by the COVID over the years has been the effect on the Special Olympics in Medicine Hat area because they haven't had an opportunity to practice. They practice regularly at their sport, and they're good. They have been winners in the province, they have been winners in Canada, and they have been winners in the world. We have the young lady who won three medals at Dubai. How many people of you have been in Dubai competing? And she puts them around her neck, and I said, when we had the official announcement, why, Miss Sullivan, don't you have your medals on? She says, they're heavy. But there's a commitment to that level. So we're doing well in this community. And we want to make sure that we help them help themselves to be the kind of committed people that they are to focus on their sport and then keep it.